This nation we're in a crisis situation where we have a vicious cycle of joint pain, specifically knee pain, leading to decreased physical activity, which then leads to weight gain and obesity, which then adds increased pressure on those joints. And now we're back into this cycle. Intermingled in that are comorbid conditions such as diabetes, heart disease, depression. But at the very center or core of this vicious cycle is a potential solution, something that can break that cycle, something that can maybe prevent you from even getting into this vicious cycle, and that's movement.
So pain is what alerts them that they need to come talk to an orthopedic surgeon. Pain in their musculoskeletal system, typically in their knee or hip or back or any of the joints that can be arthritic.
Pain was my main motivation for having surgery because I let it get to the point where I couldn't take the pain anymore with medications or injections.
If you have joint pain and you have arthritis, you have limited mobility, and you've got more sedentary lifestyle, it squeezes movement. You lose the ability to move.
You find that there are things that you thought you were able to do before, they become a chore to do now. Getting out of the bed is problematic. I mean, you roll. You don't just get up, you roll.
What I don't think people get is the parts of the vicious cycle before obesity, specifically the joint pain issue, the knee pain, that then leads to the inactivity, that then leads to the weight gain.
When you're in pain all the time, you don't want to do anything. You don't want to move. I could not do anything at all.
If you have lost that mobility, then the chances are good that if you're just doing routine things, eating normal things, or maybe even overeating, you're going to find obesity is going to come into play. If obesity comes into play, again, you're squeezing more on movement. You've got the comorbid conditions of diabetes, hypertension, that are all being impacted by the obesity and the lack of movement.
Being obese with my weight caused my heart problems, effect on my joints, overall fatigue. It caused a lot of health problems.
I don't think people are as consciously aware of the impact of the fact that I'm not moving. And I'm not moving because, my joints hurt. But the fact that I'm not moving, that I'm getting overweight, and I think people may even get that. But I don't think that people have a good visual of that vicious cycle and how the other comorbidities interplay in that.
Because of my not moving around and not doing anything, I was diagnosed with high blood pressure.
53% of the people in my community are overweight. 93% have type 2 diabetes.
For me personally, depression impacted me because I was eating over. I was covering my depression with food.
We know that the effects are higher in the African American community when we look at the incidence of heart disease, hypertension, obesity. There's a vicious cycle at play that relates to musculoskeletal disease. That pressure on your joints, because you're now heavy, is actually making the joint pain worse and may even progressing the arthritis, and that brings you back up to a defective musculoskeletal system.
A lot of pain in my knees and in my hips. I need somebody to put my socks, to do my bed.
I see on a daily basis what joint pain, decreased mobility, weight gain, heart disease, depression, diabetes, how they all intermingle and contribute to this vicious cycle. So it's key that this nation understands that this vicious cycle, we have a solution, it's movement. And the whole point here, The real goal is prevention. It's awareness and it's prevention of not becoming a part of this vicious cycle.
I started moving more. And sometimes, you can tell someone that movement is life. You really internalize that movement is medicine, that movement is life.
I had a clear vision of what I needed to do to save my life, and that was exercise, and that's what I've been doing.
It is one of my mottos now, movement is life, and exercise is medicine.